Hello, can anybody hear me? Is there anybody out there? All right, hi y'all. Welcome to your 6:30 yoga flow. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Taking it pretty chill this week. I've been inspired by some yin practices online, and it's a nice little change from what I typically teach and the kind of activities I typically do. So, we're going to take the opportunity this week to really slow down, get deeper into our postures, and you know, challenge ourselves if you're very go, 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 type A, or have a lot of things going on in your life. I think it's really rare that we get those moments of time to slow down and really get in touch with our breath. And power classes are great, but yin yoga really offers you that space and that challenge to learn how to slow down. And I say challenge because it's very challenging for me. Um, to sit there and hold a pose for 10 to 15 breaths. So that's what we're going to be doing today. A lot of juicy hip openers and a lot of conscious awareness of where our breath is going. So if you have a couple of blocks, go ahead and get those. We're going to start in a supported child's pose with our elbows on the blocks to get a nice big stretch underneath the arms. Use my pink blocks. So I'm using pretty light blocks, but if you have the cork blocks at home that are more dense and supportive, you can go ahead and use those. We're going to separate the knees hip distance or wider, and go ahead and bind your feet or bring those big toes together. Just walk your blocks out in front of you. If you are at home, most of you, if you have really thick books, you could grab a Bible or two and use those as blocks. So we're just going to nestle our elbows. See if you can bring them to the very top of the blocks or the books. You'll bring your hands into prayer. You'll just reach your prayer hands back behind your head and allow your hips to pull you back as you melt the underarms towards your mat. We'll be here for 15 breaths. See if you can create movement in the spine with just the breath. Inhale, bring the breath down low, filling up the space at the navel center. Exhale, open the mouth and sigh the breath out. Five more deep breaths here. And you'll exhale, release the arms and just slide yourself up. Bring your knees together. I'm seated on our heels with the toes tucked under. Really stretching out our toes. We'll find length in our spine and take 10 deep breaths here. Really see if you can load the weight into your heels. Draw up through the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders down the back. I'm going to reach your right arm out in front. Go ahead and hook your left arm around. We're just going to pull our right arm through as we stretch out our shoulder. So keep that right palm nice and active as you reach over. 5 deep breaths here. If sitting on your toes like this becomes too much, you can always rest and sit on the knees with the tops of the feet flat on the mat. We're going to switch our arms, left arm will cross over. Reach to the left palm. We'll inhale, interlace all 10 fingers. Reach the palms up, reach up, stretch up. And exhale, melt the arms down by your side. So you're going to load the weight into the tops of the feet, bring the knees away from the mat. Squeeze your shoulders together as you support the head and open up the chest here. If you can, lift the knees back. Maybe take gentle rocks side to side with the knees or little knee circles. The heels so that they're flat on the mat. If you've got wider hips, you might need to open up the feet a little bit more. We'll stay here for 10 breaths in extended hero's pose. Really getting a nice stretch on the tops of the legs. You know, stretching through the knees, keeping the spine tall. And then once we're a little bit more warm, we'll start to walk onto the forearms and take a few rounds of breath there. So maintaining that length in the spine and that little tuck in the chin. And we'll take 5 to 10 deep breaths here. And start to walk yourself all the way to the forearms, maybe even finding the feet and the hands. You'll walk your elbows towards one another, support the head, or squeezing the shoulders together. And you start to walk yourself. On the exhale, you'll bring the hips back to the heels, come back to an extended child's pose. And inhale, tuck the chin into the chest as we bend into the elbows. Inhale, take it up. And then exhale, make that little wave with the spine. And allow your body to sync up with your breath. Moving slow and nice and mindful. Last one, biggest breath that you take in. Exhale. We'll land in the forearm child's pose. We're going to come into half frog. And we'll just gently start to open up the left leg. And extend your right leg out behind you. See if you can gently melt all the way down to the mat. Maybe flip the gaze to one side, and we'll be here for 10 breaths. start to slowly make your way back. Press into your palms, engage your right toes, press yourself up. You walk the left leg in. Start to open up the right knee. And get as expanded as you can, and then you'll start to extend your left leg. Or if you need to bring the left leg flat first and then extend the right knee out, you're more than welcome to do so. We'll be here for 10 breaths, and then we'll move into full frog pose. We'll slide our palms to either side of the chest. Gently lift yourself up. You'll walk to the long edge of your mat so you can keep your knees nice and grounded on the mat instead of on a hard surface. So we'll take full frog. We'll just start to walk our knees out nice and wide as your knees start to settle onto our forearms. Make sure your knees are in alignment with your heels. You're just going to take a few rocks back and forth, settling in a little bit deeper. We're going to be here for about 15 breaths. So this can be pretty polarizing, this pose. There's a lot of energy, and you can read into it what you need to. Symbolism that happens in our groin and our pelvic region. So being in a polarizing position like this can be really opening for a lot of us on more than just a physical level. So it's really important that you allow yourself to ease into the posture. Nice and gentle. This gives us an opportunity to be in surrender and in a gentle space rather than forcing. to tuck our toes under. Lift yourself up. Allow the knees to come back to the mat. We'll take a seat on the bottom. We'll stack the left knee on top of the right. We'll hold onto the feet. And you'll notice that when you stack one leg on top of the other, your hip on the top leg, the point want to float away, from the mat. See if you can gently melt that left hip down and get two hips on the ground. We'll roll the shoulders onto the back, find length in the spine. We'll take 10 breaths here. You'll start to float your chest closer towards your top thigh. You'll notice when you do this, you're going to find a deeper stretch in the left hip. See if you can roll the shoulders down the back. If you're loading your elbows behind you, giving them a nice squeeze into the body. You'll just keep reaching through the crown of the head as you melt forward. Be mindful of the left hip. See if you can continue to ground it towards the mat. Pull the self forward. Inhale, you'll gently press up, tall spine all the way through. You'll switch, right leg will stack on top of left. And you'll just grasp onto those feet. Find two hips on the mat, leg round through the right. We'll start from a tall spine first, and then we'll start to melt forward. And you exhale, moving from the tall spine, reaching the elbows back behind you, fold forward. Melting that right hip down as you fold forward. Bringing that chest deeper and closer to the top end. Inhale, start to roll up or rise. We'll take the legs open nice and wide. Rotate the pelvis forward, getting deeper into our groin and our adductor. As you rock the pelvis forward a few times, if you can press through the balls of the feet, rotating the feet open. So going out, this is turning in. We'll do this a few times and then we'll start to fold forward. So, you know where we're going. We'll do our forearms, so we're not just hands space. Inhale, start to slowly roll up. And we'll take feet. We'll start kicking through our heels. Inhale, over our belly. Allow ourselves to drape over the legs. And fold. Think about filling up the spine, filling up in the body with your breath. I'll turn to the side so you can see what it looks like. And as you get more comfortable here with your breath, you'll just slide your heels out, turn the toes in, and get deeper into the hamstrings as you fold. Inhale, this time you roll up. Think about rolling up vertebra by vertebra, keeping the chin into the chest. And then exhale, melt the shoulders. I'm going to float to the back. And we're going to do a variation of forward or forward fold, but supine. And it's a hybrid. It's not quite out. I'll put it that way. So just take the leg straight up in the air. Before we get there, you can take some ankle circles, kicking through the heels when those calves. Pointing the toes, stretching the tops of the feet. Feels pretty good. This is also really supportive up against the wall. So it's also available. Bring the legs together. I'm going to stick your hips up off of the mat. We're not going into the cloud necessarily. Just imagine forward folding just on your back. It's really good to create that pressure on the back here. Think about really punching through your toes and reaching through your tailbone. And exhale, slowly roll out. Allow the tail down. Press and turn the back with your forehead to the knees. Squeeze your tiny ball. Inhale, take the biggest breath you can. You're going to pause at the top of it. And squeeze your body tight. Hold for a count of 3. Bring your legs into Supta Baddhanasana. With the feet bound and the knees open. Go into posture and recline butterfly. Allow the eyes close and the body to just melt into that. We've done a real lot of stretching, a lot of breathing into limbs and crannies of our body. Make sure when you start to get up and around, you drink some water, maybe have some red tea.